Welcome back. You're still watching Love PSL. If you've just joined us, here's a quick recap of what you missed out on before the break.
We crown the Greater Randfontein Easter Games champions. And still to come, we get all soulful with TT.
Guys, Uskare Otseba Motu. Now, football journalist Temba TT is an agent of soul music. Weekdays, the guy is running around covering football press conferences. Come weekends, he can be spotted at different venues delivering soulful tunes. We send out our cameras to follow him around and see how the guy moves at night. Check this out.
The soul and R&B scene is massive in Gauteng. In fact, Sunday is the new Saturday from a groove perspective for those that appreciate the good old sounds. Football journalist Temba TT is a man of many talents. Weekdays, he'll cover press conferences, but come Sunday, he swaps the pen for headphones and mesmerizes the crowds with some tunes.
Actually, this is where I was born, and this is where I grew up. I used to play around here, but today we call it Bafokeng Corner. It's one of those places that you can come to anytime. But DJing, I've always been a DJ. You know, ever since I was 14, I think, around that age. You know, it was still one of those things where parents never wanted you to do it. Everything else followed after becoming a DJ. So I've been in the industry for many, many years. I mean, look at it, it's more than 30 years since I've been on the decks playing music. You know, it's just one of those things that I love the most, and it's quite fulfilling to stand in front of people, play music and make them happy. You know, it's quite a good feeling. Even if you can check, the music that is played is not a music from 2023. Most of the time, every radio station, it's very rare to find a 2023 R&B song. You find them coming from the 1980s, 1990s, early 2000s, you know, so that we keep reliving the memories, and it's quite good to know that there are people from generation to generation who grow up into this sound that we still call the Sunday sound, although it's played sometime on any day, you know, on any day. So I'm one of those guys who are very, very lucky to have quite a huge number of people who follow what I do and who love what I do.
The recently revamped Bafokeng Corner in Soweto is one of the joints that you can visit for a lovely Sunday outing. Their Nyama is simply out of this world, and if you happen to be in the mood for some street fashion, they've got you. Local brands are given a platform to showcase their work.
What happens here is something that I liked, that apart from selling the food, the meat and all of that, but there's a local business element, you know, where we see local branded clothes. I mean, local brands, they come here and sell their clothes. They've got a permanent stable that they can say, this is our stable, we sell this. I saw there's Sula, there's Donda Tazel, there's all of those clothes, even Bafokeng attire as well. They've got the merchandise that is getting sold here. So it's quite nice to see that the CSI part of it comes this far, where we see our very own people, you know, pushing their lifestyle, merging it and fusing it in with all what is happening at the venues. It's quite good. Time management is very important, and more especially for a person like me, because I must know, one, if the game is not played locally that I'm not attending, maybe I must make sure that the venue that I play at, I must have a TV set to get there early, watch the game. Or if not, it will be on my TV, or you know, on my DSTV app, and I'll watch this right there and get to see what's happening. But apart from that, it's very important that we appreciate the love that we get from everybody who goes. I mean, for instance, right now, Rekoba Fuking, going to Rockefeller, going to going to Disofing. I mean, those are places that you find the crowds are prime crowds, and the people there, the class, elite people that go to those places. So when you walk in there, it's such a beautiful feeling to know that I'm coming here to rock the place.
Welcome everyone, our second Nedbank Cup quarterfinal on this busy Saturday.
I saw Sundowns bombing out like that. It was coming, by the way, it was coming. They had played 3 matches without a win, and scoring has been a problem for them in their past 3-4 matches now, including the Nedbank Cup. But well done as well to Stellenbosch. I mean, Ephraim Reyners, he just comes from being a player of the month Justice Mart is still the current player. So it should tell you that his brace was not by fluke. I mean, if you can look at Atazwan, if you go to the Royal AM, coming back from being a goal down and then coming back to win it, it was tough for them, but they had to do it. And looking at Pirates as well, they did quite well for themselves. It was tough playing against a young team from a lower division, Dondol FC. They've created a name for themselves. I'm proud of those boys. It should tell you that it's going to be tough. But then again, Stevie Barker there with his Stellenbosch club, they've done so well. I'm happy for him. I mean, remember that they've lost a player and then they're still playing with his memory wherever they go, and it has paid off for them. It's quite good. Now the draw happened. Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs. It's a derby. It's a big one. Although I was wishing that they could meet in the final, but there's no guarantee that both of them are going to go. I mean, they're strugglers. But one thing beautiful for Gauteng, for South African football lovers, one of our big teams in Gauteng, in South Africa, is going straight into the final. One of the two coaches, either Atazwane, can go on and win it and create his own history, or you see Jose can go on and have his double because he has already won one trophy. So it's quite good. But then if you can look at the other two teams, I mean, your Stellenbosch, they've done quite well for themselves. I'll be happy to see them actually going into the final as well. But it's not one of those where it's cast on stone that who will win it. We just have to wait and see. That's the beauty of the Nedbank Cup. That's the beauty of our football.
The past weekend provided us with some scintillating Nedbank Cup quarterfinals fixtures. Dondal Stars were unfortunately knocked out by Orlando Pirates, but they exit the tournament with their heads held up high after an amazing run. Stellenbosch proved too hot for Sundowns, Sekhukhune United edged out the spirited Chippa United, and Kaizer Chiefs came from behind to deliver the knockout blow to Mamkize's Royal AM. So Temba, what do you make of the semi-final draw?
The beautiful mix of four teams that play different types of football, and you can see that Brendan Tuta has come in there and made things that were not used to being done by Sekhukhune. Has changed the way the team plays. So kumnandi, there's a lot of football that will play, but for the four teams, it's going to be tough to see who goes through because Sekhukhune has got so much beautiful football. But then again, if you can look at the Capetonians there, Stellenbosch, they play different type of football, almost similar to Kaizer Chiefs with so much pace going forward. And it's going to be quite exciting to see how they wrap it up. But I can tell you now that whoever that puts the first foot forward, they're going to get into the final. Then the final, we'll see what happens because it's still way to go before we get to the final.
Truly a dope time spent with Temba TT in Soweto. When you get a chance to make a turn by Bafokeng Corner, please do so. I promise you it'll be a decision you won't regret. Danko TT for the plug.
Okay, Temba, we see why you love this thing. It's definitely a vibe. Be sure to make a turn there by Bafokeng Corner. It's a vibe. With that, we've reached the end of yet another awesome episode of Love PSL. But I think you guys know what to do by now. If you want the repeat schedule for the show, you can simply go to dstv.com. Alternatively, you can catch us on Catch Up. Please follow us on our social media platforms because we love hearing from you. A big thank you to Artistry Joburg. We had a fabulous time. From me and the rest of the crew, it's a wrap. Oh, I almost forgot. Be sure to join us next week for our milestone episode. We'll see you then.